All right, so without further ado, let's pour some parts. First thing we're looking for, we're going to use, we're going to talk about differences in molds. If you guys want, there's not that many of you here, and it's going to really help if you guys come up and take a look at some of this stuff. So if you're not shy, if you like coming up and take a look. The only thing you shouldn't really touch up here is this thing right around the band, because it's really cool. So I'm going to use a couple different molds. I'm going to use that dice mold, mold.
Saving throw, dude.
Dexterity check, dude.
You know any nice D&D games around here?
Pardon me?
I don't want to get too far on tangent, but do you know any nice D&D games that are meet regularly around here?
I don't actually. I have to admit that I've faked the funk and that I haven't really played D&D for 3 years, 4 years, maybe. So I don't. I'm sorry.
Right.
Anyway, there's two different kinds of parts I'm going to pour. I'm not going to pour all these dice. I'm just going to pour maybe one of them. And this is a 2-part mold, which I've talked about before. It's, in general, a much bigger pain in the ass to make than a 1-part mold. This is an example of a 1-part mold that I made because I had some rubber left over, and once you mix it, you have to use it. So I was like, what do I have on my desk that I want to make a mold out of? So I made a mold of a 9-volt battery and a 6-sided dice. So we're going to use that to make a part first. You know what? You know what? I only brought one of these, so we're only going to make a 1-part mold first. We're not going to actually make any 20-sided dice until later because I need to use this for my final part. So all right, let's make a part. First thing to remember is that although Smooth On is not particularly toxic, some of these chemicals are pretty nasty. The clear stuff is really nasty. So it's always a good idea to wear gloves when you handle it. Some things aren't so bad. The rubber's not bad. Smooth On's not bad. But in general, it's just a good policy to get into. I've had some friends who've gotten some allergic reactions from using this kind of stuff. So be careful when you use your plastic. Next thing we're going to do is mix up our plastic and pour it. Plastics, as many kinds of plastics as there are, there's different ratios that you have to mix them in. Many plastics, easy plastics like smooth cast, are mixed by volume. Most complicated plastics and rubbers are mixed by weight. So to mix something that's in a small volume like these parts, you can just use a little medicine cup, and that's accurate enough for what we're doing tonight. Then you just mix it and pour it. I'll show you. Do you guys want any particular color to your battery or dice? I have green, blue, and it'll turn white if I don't put anything in it.
Blue.
Blue looks nice.
Blue. All right. Never actually tried to pigment smooth cast before, so we'll see how that turns out.
Does it matter what order you do it in?
No. There might be some things where it does, but in general, just the combination is what sets it off. So I'm going to make kind of a lot of this because I'm not going to use this for anything else, but I'm going to fill this up to for those of you who can't see, probably all of you can't see this. There's graduations on the side of this. So that's 3/4 of an ounce or 6 grams. That's how you roll. Now I'm going to add some pigment. I'm not going to add very much. You can see, like, a lot of this is not very hard. The hardest part is getting the mold. And that mold's getting it, and you guys can totally do that at home, no problem. Do you guys remember which part I just put in? Did I put in A?
The clear one.
I just put in the clear one?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You sure I just put in the clear one?
I think you put in the...
Yeah.
We can rewind the tape.
Rewind the tape.
Rewind the tape.
I think you put in the yellow one.
I think you put the yellow one too.
I think I put in the yellow one too.
Yeah.
How much less yellow
Was that a
than
trick
there is
question?
than the other?
So I'm just saying. All right. No, that's definitely yellow. Yeah. I think so too. We're gonna play more dye too, just because we're gonna get really confusing.
Should put the dye in last.
Except that it sets up really fast, so you want your time. So that was 6. We're gonna fill up to 12. We probably should have put this on some newspaper or something.
I got the reader with me and use it.
Boom? Or is it, are you just going to put it in?
It's just messy. It's just a messy process in general. Don't do this on your kitchen table or anything like that. There's a lot of stuff getting early. Thanks. This is an important reader to you.
No, there's several on the newsstand.
You know where you can get more.
They're free. So there's no harm in taking 12. Although it'll draw the advertiser's ire, it certainly makes for great paper mache product.
What?
You're that guy.
All right, 12 grams. So nice robin. Is that robin? What color would you guys call that?
Cerulean.
Azure.
Really?
I don't know.
Actually, it sounds good.
Sure.
Lazuli.
Ooh.
You guys fish play D&D.
Now, it's like the wax from those cups.
Good question. In general, if you're doing a really good job of casting and mold making, I'm mixing this for longer than I need to. I just want to see if it gets warm to make sure I put the right parts in and I put two things. In general, you shouldn't ever let plastic that you're casting touch anything with water in it, which is why most of this stuff gets made out of. That's getting warm. Good.
This is the last one you need to worry about.
You should never let anything with water touch it. So yeah, a wax cup is not the best thing. Also, a wooden stick is not the best thing to cast with. This is in clear that starts to really matter, and some plastics react really badly to it and won't take and will mess your mold up and stuff like that. But Smooth On, forgiving, wonderful Smooth On doesn't really care that much about all that stuff.
What would you mix it in normally?
I usually mix it in a plastic cup or a paper cup, like any sort of cup of family. When I first started doing this, I was really geeky about that kind of thing, and I would get plastic containers and use like stainless steel spoons, and a bunch of friends of mine would just clown the shit out of me all the time for doing that, and I never really saw a big difference. So eventually, I tried the cup. The cup was good, and I stopped doing that. All right, and that should. I'm actually surprised that hasn't gone off already. We might be trying this again in a second.
Rob, do you have another cavity to use up the last 3 M's?
Cavities.
I've got some Vaseline. All right, so we'll wait for that to probably not work.
What do you mean by got off?
For the reaction.
And is that visible?
Yeah. Usually with Smooth On it is. Usually it turns white, and it usually turns white fast. So although this is getting really hot.
It's getting hot, it should work, right?
Yeah, it should totally, but that should have gone off faster than that. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, we'll wait for a second that, and then we'll.
There it goes.
That would
Wait,
be.
Yay! There it goes. All right, so you can see the reaction's really obvious when it happens.
Is it? Is it getting
Yeah.
solidified?
Which product is it?
That's Smooth On Smoothcast 300.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the cheap stuff. So we'll have some pretty inaccurate batteries.